All the great leaders all down through history, they have been complete unanimous agreement. We become what we think about. Well, don't think lack and limitation. Think abundance in whatever you want. See yourself with plenty, with abundance. Hold the image and then just think, how can I get this? Continually seeing yourself with it. The way to get it will start to come to your mind. You will attract whatever you need because you're getting on an abundant frequency, and it'll all start coming into your life.
Starting with changing your psychology around money changes absolutely everything.
Becoming a self-made millionaire is not the important thing. What is really important is the person you have to become a self-made millionaire. You have to become a totally different human being.
Walk, talk, act, look like the person you want to be. Walk, talk, act, look like the person you want to be. In other words, act as if you are already the person that you want to be and having the success that you want to have.
The number one thing, and there are many things that are keeping you poor, but the number one thing, you would never, I guarantee you no one's come up with this. The number one thing that's keeping you poor is your mouth. What you say. You see, what you say is what you get. Your tongue is a creative force. Words have power, more power than you could ever imagine.
Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development.
Remember, the starting point of becoming a millionaire on the outside is for you to become a millionaire on the inside.
There is no end to what you're capable of doing. Once you get into this vibration, you'll start attracting things. Opportunity is just going to pop up everywhere you go.
1, know what you want and believe that you can and will get it. 2, give expressions of gratitude many times daily for having received that which you want, even before you actually get physical possession of it. Possession starts first in the mind.
If you decide to be rich today, who gonna stop you? Who? If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start. Why not? Who gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person. Mama, listen to me. I'm going to be rich. Ain't anybody rich in this family. Go in there and sit down somewhere. Get yourself a good job. Oh, mama, you must be right. No, mama could be wrong. Because what you have in your imagination, God didn't show it to your mama. I'm sorry, He showed it to you.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
You have got to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. It is the law of attraction. It is real. It is nothing fake about it. The Bible says a man is as he thinketh. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you. If you live your life in despair, that's what happens to you. The moment you change the frequency that your tower emits, the moment you change that frequency, different things come back to you.
What you do frequently becomes your frequency. So,
Wisdom.
If you want to know your life, look at your habits. That's what you do frequently, right? And they add up to a rhythm. That rhythm becomes a pattern. That pattern becomes your character. That character becomes your life. You're not going to be able to break out of it until you change something about who you are.
But I'll tell you the one thing. When you don't have money, you don't realize. Like, think about right now, if someone grabbed your throat and squeezed it, what would you think about? The only thing in the world is oxygen.
Yeah,
right? How do I get more air?
Getting free.
Right? But you're not thinking about it right now because it's abundant. It's not on your mind. But what you don't realize is when money is lacking in your life, it focuses all the time. I would do that for my kids, but I can't. I'd love to take that vacation, but I can't. I'd love to do my own thing. I'm sick of this unfulfilled job, but I can't. I'd love to be at every baseball game, but I Can't. It all boils down to money. I don't care what anybody says. You have the money, you're in control of your decisions, you're in control of your calendar.
The philosophy of the poor. And here it is. Poor people usually spend their money and invest what's left. That's the philosophy of the poor. Now here's the philosophy of the rich. Rich people invest their money and spend what's left. And here's the startling answer. It really doesn't matter what the amount is. What's most important is not the amount. What's really important is the philosophy.
You can enjoy an abundant life. You can have all of whatever it is you want, but you have to earn it. Now, what would abundance be in your life? What would abundance be? To one person, it may be different than to another. But understand this, it all starts in our mind. Most people are letting what they have now control how they see themselves. They let their bank account control them. They let the friends they have control them. They let their conditions, their circumstance control them. That's not where we want to go. We want to go inside. Everything starts from the inside out. So let's start over. Let's start over. If life isn't the way you want it now, make up your mind you're going to start over. You're going to sit down, you're going to write out how you do want it. Now we want abundance. We want an abundance of friends. We want an abundance of money. We want an abundance of all the good things in life that make us more comfortable and have us enjoy life to a greater degree.
How would an abundant person think? Write it down, dude, and fire and wire those thoughts in your brain and install the hardware. Keep doing it with attention and intention. It becomes the new voice in your head. It becomes a software program. Then say, okay, how am I going to be in my life today? What would an abundant person, how would they behave? Close your eyes and rehearse in your mind how that person would walk, how they would breathe, how they would smile, how they would greet people, how they would be on Zoom calls, how would they be in traffic, how would they be at dinner. And the act of closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing the act, if you're truly present, the brain does not know the difference between the real life experience and what you're imagining. In fact, just a little bit of time, you start to install the neurological hardware to look like you already did it. Now the brain is no longer a record of the past, it's primed for the future. Keep doing it, keep rehearsing. No different than playing an instrument, no different than learning how to dance, no different than learning how to act or play a sport. Everybody's always rehearsing, right? The rehearsal process changes the brain to look like you've already done it, you've already experienced it.
When you speak of your poverty and lack of education, Mr. Carnegie explained, you are simply directing your mind power to attract these undesirable circumstances. Because it is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. Now you see why it is important that you recognize that all success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life.
How to go from average to fortune. There's 5 simple steps. You might like to make a note of them. Here's the first one. Get serious. That's number 1. I don't know any substitute for that. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. I know a guy that's got a half a dozen jokes keeping him from becoming wealthy. He's not known as rich. He's known as a joker, which I guess is okay if that's the kind of life you want to live. But it really isn't the best way to live. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious.